by recent cuts to education, local activists gathered at MPP Ross Romano's office to voice their concerns over the province's most recent funding cuts. The protest, led by Michelle McLeave Kennedy, is just one of many held at Romano's downtown office while he's been elected, and as always on TV, was there to capture the event.
So we're at Welcome Back for Ross Romano to his Welcome Back to Work party. So this is his first day back to work after 5.5 months of paid vacation. So different labor unions and community members have come together to welcome him back to work. We're so glad he's back to the legislature. There's a lot of things going on. There's education cuts, healthcare cuts. There's been cuts that have been going on since the spring. We still have the autism funding that hasn't come about. So yes, education is forefront in a lot of people's minds because of what's happening locally as well as provincially. Pretty soon we could have the unions out on strike.
Floor's yours.
Well, I'm hoping that Ross gets back to the legislature and they start making some changes and start rolling back some of the cuts. I mean, let's face it, if they can have a 14% raise in his new position, they can certainly come with more than a 1% raise for all these public service workers. And all these workers, that 1% raise for us is a cut when it comes to the cost of inflation. So let's get back to the negotiating table and let's keep people working and let's get some cuts rolled back so that we can start having people making ends meet. And that's something we've talked about for a long time. I'm hoping that they're going to get back to work at the legislature and make some things change, but we will be out here to hold him to it, and we are the resistance. These are the people that are going to come forward and they're going to make their voices heard. And we've seen it. The rallies get bigger and bigger, and people are here no matter what the weather. So obviously there is a situation and it needs to be looked at. Today there's all different kinds of unions that have been out here, and it's been different every time. We've had people from the public, but today we have a lot of support from a lot of different people. We have CUPE here today, we have OSSTF, we have FO here, which is the elementary teachers, Catholic teachers, we have OPSU here, and there's still people that will be coming as they get off work. And look, we have two little cute boys that are here from the Autism Association, which are community members. And that's what this is about. It's about the community and getting back for the community. He works for Sault Ste. Marie, and let's get people out there and people talking about the situation. This has made people in the community talk about events that are happening in the community.
The sticker campaign will certainly remain. We believe that as a matter of transparency, consumers have the right to know where those cost pressures are. Look, over the course of time, retailers, vendors have not hesitated in many instances to put a pie chart sticker on their gas pumps to let people know where those costs are.
Ontario's Energy Minister says the government's anti-carbon tax stickers will stay up on gas pumps across the province in spite of the results of last week's federal election. Greg Rickford says the decals, which were required to be posted by law before the federal vote, will stay up because people still need the information they provide. Green Party leader Mike Schreiner, though, says the government should drop the sticker plan and its challenge of the federal carbon tax.
Well, the stickers are misleading because they only tell 1/3 of the story. They don't tell the part of the story that actually says most people get money back. As a matter of fact, if the Premier wins his court case, he'll be imposing a tax increase on 8 out of 10 Ontarians by removing their carbon rebate. The sticker should tell that part of the story. The other part of the story they should tell is how the costs of climate are escalating. I mean, we paid out $1.3 billion in insurable losses last year alone due to extreme weather events caused by the climate crisis. Those costs are only going to escalate. If the Premier wants to tell the full story, he needs to tell the full story.
People in Ontario will likely soon be able to drink around the clock in airport bars, take their dogs onto patios and into breweries, and bring home as much booze as they want from other provinces. The proposed loosened alcohol restrictions are among dozens of measures in a bill tabled yesterday to ease red tape and regulations. The legislation also tackles rules around trucking, mining, pensions, and several other sectors. Under the proposed law, bars and restaurants that are located after security in certain commercial airports in the province could serve alcohol all day. They are currently restricted to 9 a.m. and 2 a.m. As well, dogs would be allowed onto restaurant patios and could also be brought into breweries where only beverages and low-risk prepackaged foods are served. The bill also proposed to lift limits that mean adults in Ontario can bring up to 9 liters of wine, 3 liters of spirits, and roughly 3 cases of beer home from another province for personal use. Lawyers representing 11 people who were disqualified from applying to open a cannabis retail store in Ontario are seeking to appeal after a court dismissed their challenge of the rejection last month. The group has filed a notice that it is seeking leave to appeal the divisional court decision, saying the 3-judge panel erred in finding the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario acted reasonably in interpreting the licensing rules. It also argues the case raises issues that go beyond the interests of the specific parties, such as what counts as proper notification. The group has also filed a motion contesting another judge's decision not to put the cannabis licensing process on hold until the application for leave to appeal is resolved. The 11 initially turned to the court in September to challenge their disqualification and dispute the fairness of the procedures involved in the lottery used to grant pot shop licenses. A group launching a legal challenge to Ontario's child vaccination regime is planning a rally at the provincial legislature today. The group, which includes 5 parents and the organization Vaccine Choice Canada, is also expected to hold a news conference on its constitutional challenge. They allege the Immunization of School Pupils Act breaches several charter rights, including those to freedom of conscience and religion, as well as liberty and security of the person. The law requires that children be immunized against certain diseases unless their parents obtain an objection for medical reasons or over their beliefs. In order to get a non-medical exemption, however, parents must sign a statement of conscience and religious belief as of 2017 and attend an information session. Children whose parents don't comply can be suspended from school on order from the medical officer of health.